Record. Okay. First things first. We got this thing recording. This worksheet right here. Can you see this thing if I hold it up? Is that okay? All right. About how far? Give me a thumbs up if with your half hour, that one. Give me a thumbs up if your half hour you finished like more than half of that worksheet. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Wow, that's good. That's real good. Thumbs up if you finished all of it.
Time-wise, I could, but I couldn't figure out the last page.
Yeah, I couldn't
Gotcha.
figure out the last pages.
You probably got stuck somewhere along the order of this. Is that about right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just perfect. That's what we'll do today. So we'll jump in with that. What's better? Will you prefer me screen sharing and trying to do that, or do you prefer me holding it up and it flips the writing for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? Okay, cool. Well, we might just do that then, because it takes me forever to type this. So I just printed the thing and filled it out. So let's do that. So let's go ahead and grab that worksheet. If you started with the other one and didn't do this one, go ahead and grab this one. Does everybody have this? I guess thumbs up if you have this. That should be the first question. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay, cool. That looks real good. Thumbs up. John Dobbs. I don't have a face on him.
Yeah, I have technical difficulties.
That's okay. Mr. Krogman, I don't have your face either. You got this worksheet? Thumbs up. I got it. Okay, cool. That could not be better. All right, well, let's go through it together. If I'm going too quick and you can't keep up writing, let me know. If I'm going too slow, let me know. So the first page is the review of the whole system, and it tells you that these big old organs here are called kidneys. So everybody should have kidney for that top blank. That's a pretty easy one. The second blank down should be a ureter. So your kidneys are up there, and your ureter is down there. And the ureter is a paired tube that runs from the kidneys down to the bladder. All right. The next blank down is the bladder. If you want to be technical and put urinary bladder, you can. But bladder is fine. I don't know of any other bladders myself. So if you just put bladder, I'll be happy with that. And then the last space down is called the urethra. And that is a mucus lined tube that will allow urine to exit the body. And that's a urethra. So everybody got that first page? Yep. Okay, cool. I got lots of thumbs up. So I'm feeling okay about that. Very good. Moving on. Let's go. Here we go. Oh my goodness, that is such bad. Oh, I just turned the view so I could see all of you. I could only see like 4 and I was clicking around. Okay, next page. They zoom in on the kidney just a little bit closer on this one so you can see a blood supply. Is that an okay view for you guys? The handwriting okay? You can see it kind of sort of? Okay, cool. So this is the kidney, the big old kidney zoomed in. And so your first blank here, the very top is a tissue that sits on top of the kidney, and that's called your adrenal gland. Your adrenal gland is an endocrine gland on top of your kidney that secretes hormones. You got adrenal gland on there? Feel okay about that one? Cool. Really weird side note, the big ones that the adrenal gland secretes are epinephrine and norepinephrine. And epinephrine is the same hormone that's in an EpiPen, right? It's like chemical adrenaline, all right? So it makes the heart beat real fast, makes your pupils dilated, respiratory rate goes up, that kind of stuff. And it's kind of cool because the name epinephrine literally means around the nephron, and the nephron is the functional unit of the kidney. So the hormone's name is, the hormone that comes around the kidney. So I just kind of get a kick out of that. Anyways, next up, second blank down. There's a couple answers I would take for this. I'm trying to see how your view is. If you put fat capsule, adipose tissue, I don't care what you put, but that yellow clumpy stuff around there is a bed of fat that kidney rests on, which probably isn't a big surprise to you because you saw that same thing with mesentery in the small intestine. Everybody feel okay about that one? Cool. All right, I got lots of folks nodding their head. We're going to keep on going. Next space down, you guys know blue is vein, red is artery. So the third space down is your renal vein. Your renal vein. You're going to see the word renal a lot because we talk about kidneys a lot. Okay. Next space down, is a hilus. A renal hilus is the whole kind of concave area of that kidney where all the nerves and blood vessels enter and exit. That's the hilus. I guess we should throw ureter in there too. All right, next space down is just the plain old regular kidney. Next space down again is the ureter. We'll move a little quicker because we've done these already. And the next space down, somebody got this yesterday, which was kind of cool just based on their understanding where the kidney was. It said, where do you think that blood probably drains to? And that's the inferior vena cava. How you feel on page 2? Anything you want me to go over again? Everybody good? Good, good, good. Cool. All right, let's go to the third page. Cut the kidney in half. Get a little bit cooler view of it here. So this was a tough one because we start naming arteries, and arteries are tough. But you're not going to have to memorize which arteries are which. If you know renal artery, renal vein, and then afferent, efferent arteriole, those are your heavy hitters. Which branch is which artery? You know, we're not going to freak out about that. But the top one there is lobar arteries. Lobar, okay? Which takes you to the lobes of the kidney because those renal pyramids kind of split it up into lobes. So the arteries that branch to the lobes are the lobar arteries. Kind of straightforward, I suppose. So that's the top blank. The second blank down is called segmental arteries, where it segments off. Segmental arteries. Third blank down is the real big one and an easy one. Renal artery. It's the big old artery heading to the kidney. And then the bottom blank is, of course, your abdominal aorta. Big old blood artery right in the middle of your abdomen. All right. Am I going too quick now? No? No? Not even a little bit? Okay, cool. All right. So that's the kidney. That's page 3. So let's go to page 4. Page 4 looks like this. Everybody got that guy for page 4? Yep. Okay, cool. All right, so page 4. This is probably the closest one to the diagram that's going to be on your test. If you want to put a little star there, this guy would be the guy to put a star on because he's got, you know, it kind of cut away the fat pad and the arteries, but just the nuts and bolts of how's the kidney filter and drain urine. This is the guy. So this is a really cool one. All right, top blank over here is called a cortex. The cortex is just the outer part of the kidney. And so outside of those renal pyramids is the cortex, which might not be a surprise to you. The little triangles themselves are renal pyramids, okay? On your test, if you mix up a renal pyramid with a medulla, I am not going to dock you for it. It is difficult to tell when something's pointing at a renal pyramid or a medulla because the renal pyramids more or less make up the majority of the medulla. So that's a renal pyramid, those little triangular doodads. This guy down here, what separates the space between the renal pyramids is a renal column. And then the bottom space right here is got a big bracket showing you the whole middle part, and that's your renal medulla. Questions on that side? Easy peasy, cruising along? All right. This guy right here, where all the confluences of these collecting ducts meet. It's this big old space called a renal pelvis. I hear kids screaming the word stop, and I also hear crying, so they'll probably be in here soon. Renal pelvis. We're going to keep going until they come in here, though. And then this is a tough one right here. This is actually pointing to the space between the collecting ducts. There is a recessed three-dimensional pocket that fits in here. And that space is called a renal sinus. Like the sinus in your skull is an open space in your skull. The open space in the middle of the kidney where we run all of our plumbing, if you will, is a renal sinus. That's kind of a tough one to see what it's pointing to. And then the ever popular ureter. It's on every diagram. I don't know. There it is, the ureter. Okay, questions on that one? Going once, going twice? Okay, cool. All right, so that was page 4. Now we get to the tough one, the million blank one. And yes, this one's totally fair game for your test, so don't freak out. All right, here we go. Look at it. It's so pretty. I need like a little pen to point with. Okay. This is a tough one. You see this little ball right here? Okay. The arteries and veins run into that little ball. And there's two terms you have to know. There's the term for the capillary bed inside that ball. Then there's the term for the ball itself. Okay. So if you look at your worksheet, this guy right here is pointing to the top one, is asking you about the capillaries in that ball. And those capillaries, which I wish, is that light make things better or worse for you?
Better.
Better. Okay, cool. We're going to scoot this here like this. I feel like I'm being interrogated. I got this little light right in my face. Okay. All right. Now it's worse. How's that?
That's good.
Okay. The capillaries in there are called the glomerulus. It's fun to say, more fun to spell. Glomerulus. I kind of wish they'd just call them renal capillaries or renal capillary ball or I don't know, circular capillary of the cortex. But they didn't. They call them glomerulus, which is an awesome name for an awesome capillary bed. And that is the location where we are going to push blood plasma out of a capillary and start to filter it. Okay, 1 second. I got a kiddo here. What's up, buddy? Jamesy won't let you play dragons or driving? Dragons? Oh, well, go tell him Dad says to let you play dragons. That worked great. That was super easy. Kind of. Dragons? Whatever. All right. Next space down. This little guy right here. This is tricky, all right? This is an efferent arteriole. It is the arteriole that is leaving the glomerulus. This guy down here is the afferent arteriole. The afferent arteriole runs into the glomerulus, forms the capillary bed of the glomerulus. So arriving is afferent and leaving is efferent. That's when it leaves. Cool? Clear as mud? I got a few people nodding their heads. I'm very happy with that. Okay, cool. Next space down. These are the ones that I'm not going to have you worry about memorizing, but you had to kind of work your way backwards to get to these. Excuse me. The small interlobular vein and the small interlobular artery. Red is artery, blue is vein. If you do not memorize those, you are going to be just fine for your test and for life. There's interlobar arteries, and then there's small interlobular arteries. I don't want you to spend your time memorizing those, but that is what comes before the afferent and efferent arteriole, is the small interlobular vein and the small interlobular artery. And I see a lot of people writing, so I'm just going to give it a second. Oh, well, go play with Eden. She's crying? Oh, we're at a 50% cry rate right now. This is not going that well. Okay, that's okay. You can just hang out and, yeah, flip through that book. You're fine. Just hang out. You can be in class with me. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, next one, logical terms. These guys travel in an arc between the cortex and medulla to go around those renal pyramids. So the red one is the arcuate artery, and the blue one is the arcuate vein. Does that kind of make sense? Arcuate artery is the red one traveling in that dotted line of an arc, and the arcuate vein. Hey, Eden's not crying now. Go play with her. Sam, look. Eden's not crying now. Go play with her. No, she's not crying. I can see her. Oh, the logic is real. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, go talk him into playing with you, Eden. I don't know. He's flipping through a Bible. I guess there's worse things a 3-year-old could do, but he's not going to understand any of it right now. Okay, so arcuate. Are you guys good with arcuate? Okay, cool. All right, moving on. Bottom. Interlobar vein, interlobar artery. Blue is the vein. Red is the artery. Interlobar, interlobar. I like being able to see your screens because I just kind of tell when you're writing, and when you're done, I just move on. This is nice. All right, moving on. I see most people done writing. Now, this guy up here, paratubular capillaries, okay? Those capillaries surround the tubules that are filtering your blood and allow you to reabsorb the good stuff from the blood plasma, which is now filtrate. Okay, go let him have the deer, Eden. Give me 10 minutes to have class, dear. Okay, Eden, just give him whatever little stuffed animal he wants, babe. Thank you. You're the best. Go play. Whew. All right. That's a vasorecta. Okay, here's the deal. I don't really care that you memorize vasorecta, but I do care that you memorize paratubular capillaries. Technically, all these are paratubular capillaries. They're capillary around a tube. That's what paratubular capillary means. Vasorecta just means straight, right? So these are parts that go straight down. You know, if you just know paratubular capillaries, you're better off than the average 18-year-old, okay? So you're doing great. All right, questions over the top diagram. Go once, go twice. I can see the glare. I don't like the glare. That's better. Okay, cool. Bottom diagram. It looked like this. Here we go. Let's start. I kind of want to do this in the direction it flows and not just the spaces. Let's do that. Let's start with the second space down. That second space down right there is pointing to that little purple ball. That's called a Bowman's capsule. All right. Now, the glomerulus is inside of the Bowman's capsule. So the purple ball itself is the Bowman's capsule. Cool? All right, everybody's got that. Apostrophe S. It is the possession of Mr. Bowman, whatever that means. All right. Now, look at the tube coming out of that Bowman's capsule. That tube that comes out is called the proximal convoluted tubule. It's that guy right there. Proximal means near. So it's close to. Convoluted means unnecessarily complicated. Like if somebody gives you an explanation and their explanation just takes forever, it's a convoluted story, right? That is unnecessarily complicated right there. And tubule means tiny tube. So its name also tells you what it is. It's the tiny tube that is unnecessarily complicated and windy near to the Bowman's capsule. Cool? So it's a nice name, right? Now, that proximal convoluted tubule is going to drop down into a structure called the loop of Henle. So technically speaking, here to here and back up here is the loop of Henle. Now, this reading splits it out into a descending loop of Henle, which is fine. That's the part where it's dropping down. And an ascending loop of Henle, which is the part where it's climbing up. If you just know loop of Henle, I'm going to be pretty happy with that. If you know that descending is falling and ascending is rising, then awesome. That's not going to hurt my feelings either. I see people writing, so I'm just going to hang tight for a second. All right, most people are done writing now. Okay, now up the ascending loop of Henle we go to this guy goes crate. Look at this. Where are you going? He's all over the place. Pick a box. Distal convoluted tubule. These guys are both the same. They call them early and late on this worksheet, but I'm not too worried about that. As long as you know that it's distal convoluted tubule, I'm very happy with that. It's the tiny tube that's all crazy squirrely whirly in there that's leading to your collecting duct. So distal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule. If you want to throw early distal convoluted tubule and late distal convoluted tubule, you can, but that in and of itself is a little convoluted. So if you just say distal convoluted tubule, I'm going to be happy with that. Okie dokies. All right. Now, we drop down here into what's called a collecting duct. They split this down into the part that's in the cortex, part that's in the medulla. I don't really care so much about that. If you know that's a collecting duct, I'm pretty happy with that. That whole line right there is a collecting duct. Once you hit about right in here, you are done reabsorbing all the good stuff you can out of that filtrate. And this is no longer blood plasma. This is urine. From here on out, it just flows down. It's going to go to the, renal pelvis, going to go to the ureter, going to go to the bladder, on and on and on. That's going to go. So you're all done reabsorbing the good stuff out of it. So did we get them all going through it that way? I think we did. Cool. So we did it. All right, cool. Any questions over any of those structures, how to spell something? Did I go too quick, too slow, anything like that? Nope. Okay, cool. Did anybody? Yeah, Noah.
What's the bottom blank on that diagram?
It's a collecting duct again. It's technically the medullary collecting duct, the collecting duct in the medulla. But if you just know there's a collecting duct, you're in awesome shape. So the one on the top is the cortical collecting duct, and the one on the bottom is the medullary collecting duct. Good question. Any other questions?
If we just know collecting duct, are we good?
If you know collecting duct, you're perfect. All right. Let's see. Did you guys get to the other diagram with your half hour of work? No. Yes. Okay. I've got more yeses than no, so let's do that because that one's real easy. So I'll actually screen share that one real quick, and we'll get that figured out. So let me just do this here. Share the screen. Desktop. Yes, please. That's the most logical thing to share here. Okay. Zoom. Don't need that. This guy. Don't need that. What do I need here? I need anatomy. Urinary system. Oh, this is probably the one right here. It's opening. Here we go. This is the guy. All right, everybody can see that? Cool. All right, cool. Let's do this one. This will be real easy, and honestly, that'll put us about a half an hour. We'll probably shut it down. We're done with this. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Actually, what would be better, now that you guys have done this, you should try to name them. What's this blank right here?
Calyces.
Very good. Very good. Calyx if it's 1, calyces if it's 2, C-A-L-Y-C-E-S. Calyces or a calyx. Good answer. Good answer. All right, how about this guy over here?
Renal pelvis.
The renal pelvis. You got it. And so microscopically, right, all these collecting ducts are these little bands that you see in that renal pyramid. Those are collecting ducts. Collecting ducts run down. They hit the calyx. The calyx runs down, hits the renal pelvis. Renal pelvis runs down and hits the what? What's this guy?
Urinary.
You got it. Easy peasy. You got it. All right. How about this guy right here? What's that going to be?
Medulla.
I'll take that. Yeah. What's the other answer? It could be
Pyramid.
renal pyramid. You got it. And this guy on the outside here?
Cortex.
Cortex. Easy peasy. And then this whole region right here, this whole kind of concave shaped face is going to be the what?
Renal hilum.
The renal hilum or the hilus. Perfect. You got it. That's exactly right. Okay. You guys good with that speed? Too quick, too slow? We okay? Turn off my investigator, whatever you call it, light, where the cop shines a light in your face. That's how I feel right now. Okay. What do we got going on here? This one's cool. Let's zoom in. Ooh, it's a nephron. All right. So let's start with this little bitty baby artery right here. Teeny tiny artery comes in here. What's that little tiny artery called?
Afferent arterial.
The afferent arterial. Good answer. A-F-F-E-R-E-N-T. Ooh, somebody fell. I hear a lot of crying now. That's okay. Hopefully it's his feet, not his head. All right, what's this guy leaving here? What's that called?
Efferent arterial.
The efferent arterial. Good job. The efferent arterial. Perfect. Just perfect. All right. This guy here. Oh, hold on. I see people writing. I'm going to wait. This guy here is the capsule, not the capillaries. So what's that guy there?
Glomerular capsule.
Oh, I might take that actually. Glomerular capsule. I was
I mean-
thinking Bowman's capsule, but I bet Bowman's capsule is the older term and glomerular's new. Where'd you read that one,
It
Jake?
was on Google.
Just move the box.
You moved the box, Jake. Jake, no, no, boo, boo, Jacob. Oh,
I mean,
curse you and your
it-
creative problem solving.
It bit
What are
me
they
because the
teaching
next
you?
one doesn't have a box. Like it doesn't have anything
Ooh.
underneath.
Ooh, what are they teaching you in school nowadays? Oh, it's problem solving. Oh, okay. Dang, this kid's smart. Okay, Bowman's capsule or glomerular capsule? Digital learning. Ooh, okay, that's perfect. All right, moving on. All right, now this one's a little tricky because it looks different from the other worksheet you got. This guy here, we have the twisty curly tube, and then he goes down, and then he comes back up, and then he's more twisty curly tube, and then he's collecting duct. So what would this one be?
The proximal convoluted tubule.
You got it, the proximal convoluted tubule. And if you have great memory, you can just write PCT, and I'll be happy with that. Patient care technician. No education needed. You can help people get to the toilet at the hospital. Awesome job. Doesn't pay a whole lot, but you get great hours, I bet you. So, anyways, PCT, patient care technician, or the proximal convoluted tubule. Pick your favorite. All right. Now we go to this little squirrely tube on this side, which would be what? Jacob, who can't
Distal
move the
convoluted
box.
tubule.
Good answer. Distal convoluted tubule. That's exactly right. And which only leaves this long vertical loop, which of course is called the what?
The nephron.
Now,
What?
is that what it
According to
says?
this one, it does say
Yeah.
Ooh, loop of Henle. Come on. That's all right. You guys know about that transition from naming things in anatomy after scientists who discovered them to naming it after the structure. So this whole structure is the nephron. So the loop of the nephron makes more sense than the loop of Henle. So, yeah, loop of Henle. But hey, you know what? If you want to go loop of the nephron, I'm not going to dock you because you're correct. Okay. So
Oh wait, what was the top right one?
this guy,
Yeah.
the distal convoluted tubule.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Last diagram, we're going to hit half an hour right on the nose. This is the easiest diagram in the world. What are these?
Kidneys.
Kidneys.
Kidneys. Yes, very good. They're such odd-shaped things, aren't they? Anyways, what's this guy?
Ureter.
Ureter. What's this guy?
Ladder.
Bladder.
Bladder. And what's this guy?
Urethra.
Urethra. All right. That's it. You guys got them. So I'll give you 10 homework points or 20 homework points, whatever. It doesn't matter. 100% on your homework. You did it. You can fog a mirror. You're alive. You can read. Move boxes, apparently. Oh. And that's totally fine. And, as long as you learn it, I'm happy. So that's about half an hour. We're going to shut it off here. Do you guys have any questions for me?